Well, it's no secret that students struggled with distance learning last year, but it's been difficult to quantify the actual impact on California students until now.
CBS13 investigative reporter Julie Watts has compiled records that reveal stunning failure rates at local schools last year.
Yeah, guys, other states and some California school districts are using this data to gauge and address the learning loss from last year. So we were surprised to learn the California Department of Education isn't tracking pandemic fail rates, and neither are many local school districts.
Hey, Claire.
Hi. Jonathan has 3 kids in 2 schools, which means multiple drop-offs and pickups each day. But after a year of distance learning, he doesn't mind.
It was really amazing to see all the kids come back. And I would say the drop-off, too, is where most of the positive feelings come in.
He says distance learning took a toll on his family.
What was it like for you as a parent watching your kids struggle?
It was horrible.
Especially for his foster daughter.
I definitely struggled a lot more than I probably ever have in school.
Now a high school senior, Michelle worried she wouldn't graduate.
I felt like I was so deep down in a hole that there was like no way to escape it.
And she's not alone. We submitted public records requests for student failure rates to more than 50 local school districts and found overall for every 10 kids with a failing grade during the 2019-2020 school year, at least 18 failed last year. But maybe more surprising, more than half of the districts would not or could not provide the requested data related to D's or F's, some acknowledging they weren't tracking failure rates at all. And neither is the California Department of Education, which said it is not surprising there is incomplete information in light of limited resources. But of the districts that did provide data, most reported roughly a third of their students failed at least one class, and more than 4 out of 10 students had at least 1 D or F.
Are you surprised it was so hard for us to get that data, that some schools weren't even tracking fail rates?
You know, not anymore. Nothing surprising.
Distance learning was so hard for Jonathan's family, he started the Reopen California Schools Facebook group, which lobbied to get schools back open in person and has now amassed more than 18,000 members.
Here in California, we've had one of the worst responses.
He points to national data that ranked California 50th out of 50 for in-person learning last year. And when we compared 2019 in-person semesters to last year's distance learning or hybrid terms, the fail rate at most schools more than doubled, and in at least one district, failures tripled.
I definitely was one of those kids. I could not see myself graduating for a long time.
Like Michelle, many seniors this year were facing continuation school instead of graduation because of multiple Fs. Then came AB 104. The new law allows students to replace bad letter grades with a pass-no pass, essentially protecting their GPA, along with their eligibility for college and financial aid. And the new law allows high school juniors and seniors with Fs to reduce their number of credits needed to graduate on time.
And honestly, without having that, I definitely would not be able to graduate this year.
But while AB 104 gave Michelle a fresh start, and some districts tell us hundreds of their students took advantage of the law, allowing them to graduate on time, other districts with similar fail rates reported few, if any, students applied for the help, meaning thousands could be left behind. Now, it appears right now no one is tracking how schools are implementing AB 104. Assemblywoman Gonzalez, the bill's author, tells us it became clear that some districts were far more effective than others at communicating to families about the options under the new law. And she adds there is a lot more work to be done.